and welcome to Move the Line Prop Drop Show presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm Ryan Noonan back with my friends to talk about the best way, the most profitable way to bet on NFL football, and that is through player props here for the divisional rounds. Live here, 3 p.m. Eastern, every Friday on the 4for4 Bets YouTube channel. We're here to give out our favorite plays and to take your questions. It's our favorite part of the show. If you're hanging out with us now on YouTube, we appreciate it greatly. Subscribe to the channel, like the show, all those things, but also jump in the chat. Let us know what your favorite prop look is for the week. Pretty full card. Getting tough though. Like full is very relative when you only have 4 games, so a little bit thinner. So your questions would be very helpful today. Love to share as many as we can here. Jumping on with us live on YouTube is your best shot to get the best lines here. These numbers and prices move quickly. If you want the podcast feed, we'll be in your podcast on Friday evening as well. Joining me here, as always, Connor Allen. What's up, bud?
Yeah, not a whole lot. I have a lot of hot takes this week, which will either be really good or really bad. Bankroll. Yeah, like a lot. And so I feel like I have a pretty contrarian spot here on game sides, totals, props. And I think that we'll figure it out. You know, it'll be I'm excited to see how we do.
Like spicy. We got our Spice King back in his good spot here. We missed him last week traveling. Chat's already letting you know. Daily missed last week. Shout out to Jim for holding it down for us. I think he did a good job. I think he had some winners in there too. But hi, Slot. What's going on, bud?
Living the dream, bro. I didn't know we were sponsored by FanDuel. I just recently ranked them as my #1 sports book. So shout out to FanDuel. Like they just took Caesars, overtook them for the top spot.
Okay. What was there
it was just FanDuel. I'm very happy with them.
Okay. Was there like any sort of like what's the analysis behind it? Was there like bet types, the ability to get down? Like where are we at?
It's the ability to get down. They tell you in the box how much you can bet. You know what I mean? Like they let you know what it is because DraftKings started doing that and then they stopped and then they do it like it's off and on. So there's that, and then the 10 plus every 10-yard increments on rushing receiving yards. Big fan of that. Love plus money. I don't know. They're the people's book right now. It's theirs to lose.
I agree. And they also have the largest market share right now, I think, overall in the United States among all sports books, which, I mean, it's not surprising. They have probably the best product. They let you bet. They let everyone bet at least a little bit on almost everything. Like they're never going to limit you to like, well, I guess I've been limited to like less than $10 on like a couple of crazy markets. But like, you know, usually minimum, we're talking like $30-$50 on like long shots. And then normal props, you know, a couple $100. So I mean, can't complain.
Look, so I got a rule. I think it should be across the board. Is that like $100? I've seen this in the industry. There's another guy that says something similar, but like $100. Like that's it. Yeah. Like that should be like the lowest. Like you're good. I have no idea why that's not a thing, but I think if anyone was to do that, it would be FanDuel because I can always get $100 down. That's all I want to get down. Like I'm not rich. I just want to bet, dude. But something, you know what I mean? What are we doing?
I've seen the picket slips though, buddy. We're doing okay. Right? We're doing all right over here. We're in these streets. It's
about the money and the thrill of the game. You know, it's both. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the love of the game, and the cash is nice too. But you know, how about both? Just a little bit of both. You know, I don't ask a lot.
I agree. We love FanDuel. That's a fantastic book. My only issue is where this is going. Like you put out tackle props in like the Super Bowl or like occasionally in the playoffs. Just give them to me all year round. Then you'd be unquestioned my favorite book.
Yeah, that's fair. They should give you. I didn't know they didn't do tackle props. That's messed up. FanDuel, come on. You're better than that. Top dog.
Right. Come on. I love betting golf on FanDuel too. You can do some things that you can't do other places. So yeah, props to FanDuel. Sponsor the show. They've been the sponsor all year, Slop, but that's okay. Hey, like we all learn.
Again, I never said I was smart. I never said I was that smart. So in my defense, never said
you can't get all of it, buddy. You can't be as handsome as the day is long and be sharp as attack. Like it's just you got to pick a lane. Lane was picked for you. Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, we will do our best. We obviously default to FanDuel lines if they are best spot, and they typically are a little bit off market or they do their own thing sometimes. And I got some FanDuel specific stuff here today. So follow Slop on Twitter @SlopRules. and all the cool stuff going on at Odds Jam. We'll let him tell you more about that later at the show. I'll remind folks this is the second episode of Move the Line each week. On Wednesdays, Connor and myself, Sharp Clark, 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Eastern, on Wednesdays. You want to get more sides and totals. You want to get like our matchup thoughts on the divisional round games. You can check that out here on the YouTube channel or in podcasts as well. You want to get all the official plays, the things Connor and I push out to our subscribers at 4 for 4. You want to get in our Discord. You need access to our betting subscription. It gets you access to all that we do. So you want to bet MMA, NBA. We're still doing that as well, rolling through the end of February. And again, right now you can get it for just $19.99. It's typically like $250 for the full season. Maybe you're considering jumping over, joining us for the full football season in 2024. Jump in now. You'll get a little bit of access to, just see what we do. And maybe you're still grinding season long. You play high stakes fantasy. You like best ball, anything like that in the football speculation space. We got you covered at 4 for 4. You can check it out right now for just $19.99. 4for4.com/plans. More info in the show notes. Again, live lines, no stale bread. Connor, floor is yours. Kick us off for the divisional round. What do you got, bud?
Yeah, I knew Slop was coming back, so I wanted to make sure that I got rid of all my unders early in the week. Nice. I think I put 4 or 5 out, only 1 over, 2 overs now at this point. Then I got another over here, and we're going to go to our friends at FanDuel. I think they're offering the best way to do this, and I think you guys will like this one. This has been Slop's guy all year. I'm going to go with Jamison Williams, 40-plus receiving yards. And I like some of the alts too, but let me go through the regular reasoning here first. I mean, he ran a season high in route participation, 87%. And we're looking at the Rams, like kind of bracketed him, made sure that they didn't get deep. And so he only had 2 catches for 19 yards. But before that, 3 games before that with increased usage, 69, 43, 47 yards. Now he matched up against the Bucs team that, blitzes a lot. They leave themselves exposed. He already caught a 45-yard touchdown against them earlier in the season on extremely, extremely limited usage. Not to mention, I think this game is going to be really exciting. A ton of passing here. Detroit's probably going to skew pass heavy against the Bucs, pass funnel defense here. We saw it early in the season again. I mean, Jared Goff had 40-plus attempts in a game that they won 20-6. And then on the other side, I think the Bucs go pass heavy too, because the Lions, run defense is really good. Their pass defense is not as good. So that just leads to more volume for everyone. I think this number is just way too low. I prefer the 40-plus to just a straight 32.5 because, he's still a little bit more of a volatile guy, even with the increased usage. And we're getting plus money, plus 118 at FanDuel, plus 115 at DraftKings. Now, I will say that I think so. There's alts in DraftKings. It's called alt receiving yards. That are like you can get like over 48.5 yards for 2-1. And so I'm like, okay, well, we should probably just wait for that. And then they pulled it off the board like 5 minutes before the show. So don't know why they did that, but I will be playing that whenever it gets reopened because those are the best odds on alts for sure. Don't go to X plus receiving yards. It's alt receiving yards because they have to offer an over and an under in that market, which boosts the over odds. So it's just a little hack there for you, those of you using DraftKings.
Good call out. Yeah, JMO, I think, could be featured other times here in the show. Slop's been a guy that you go to. Not a tight end. I know you're a big tight end guy since like 86 or so. Yep. Yeah. Thoughts on JMO here?
Well, that was my pick was it's going to do 60-plus yards for 280. So kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but I'm kind of glad that I'm able to alpha him because he only said 40, but I'm saying 60. And here's the thing with him is I'm dead serious. Like, I do like the 40. Don't get me wrong. That is probably the way. But I've been kind of noticing that I think that if he gets 40, he's getting like 70. Like one of those type things. I'm dead serious. I think he's going to get a long one. I'm telling you. I've said it before.
I do too.
Probably 5 or 6 times on the show, 5 in weeks in a row. But he's going to take a slant like way longer than he should. Like one of those kind of things. So he has to do this. And no, in my defense, Evan, we did because we were taking 40-plus. We got him twice in a row. Like, I think there was once we didn't, but there was another time where he had like a 69-yard game, I think, against the Cowboys. Something like that, like close to 70. I think he's 60-plus at plus 280. If you're down on him at all you need to do is hit this, and it probably get you back, 2.8 units. So I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a banger. I mean,
the same guy get picked. By 2 people's pick is the same guy.
I mean, I think this is our first ever collab play. We were both in the lab last night. We were, getting no sleep late in the lab and decided to collab, so I think we should make a tweet thread about it and, maybe discuss it because I mean, Evan too. I mean, all you have to do is we should be, martingaling Jameson Williams alt. I feel like that's how you do it. If we lose everything you lost, just double it, and eventually you're going to win your money back.
So he's going to catch one day. And I think it's this time. I think that the Bucs have not seen an NFL defense in like 3 weeks now, because it was the Eagles last week who did not look like good at all. And then the Panthers the week before. And like, if you watch them, like, that's a train wreck, like that offense. So they haven't seen a pass. Like, they're going to be inside. They're like, what the hell is going on? Like, these are NFL receivers just running by their corners. And also, too, Devonta Smith, everybody knew where the ball was going. He still caught one deep down the center of the field. Remember that play? Like, so, like, it's they're ripe. Like, he's going to get one. I'm telling you, he's going to get one. I just believe it. I think it's the week.
I mean, he was set to be featured in my spicy section. I actually have a extra spicy layer to it today. So yeah,
you have 90 yards plus 750.
I have the inversely correlated parlay of under 2.5 balls. Under, because he's only he hasn't caught more than 2 in like the last 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Under 2.5, 60 plus is plus 22.50 on FanDuel.
He's not a possession guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a possession guy.
Yeah. So also, we'll come back to it because I have an extra layer that I think Connor might be interested to. We're in the playoffs, so we want to make the spicy real spicy, right? We're talking like, whatever the highest Schofield units for whatever the current hot pepper is. That's what we're doing in the spicy section today. We are going like, we're going off the charts. So, Slop, was that your official play?
That was my first one, but I got 2 more. Jeff's already given away in the chat my other one.
Okay,
I'm still going.
I'm still going. All right, I got a few that are like they're somewhat correlated. Essentially, you can't parlay them all because of the way that they are. But I want to find ways to like beat into this narrative of how I think some of these things are going to go in the first game of the weekend. And there are different iterations that are all somewhat the same. Now, I love what we're seeing from this Texans defense right now. We talked about it at length on our preview show on Wednesday. They got basically everyone healthy, and there's some continuity now in the back half, especially. They're doing a tremendous job at disguising what they're doing in the secondary pre and post snap. I think they're going to confuse Lamar here, and it's going to lead to some props that we're going to take advantage of. So a couple ways to do it. I think most rushing yards in the game is very interesting. Lamar is plus 290 on FanDuel to have the most rushing yards in this game. I'm not super worried about the other competition. Like Singletary is getting a nice workload. I don't think he's like scares me too much, but his prop is like 61. Lamar's not that far off. So for Lamar to be 3-1, I don't feel great about like that difference. Connor already played an under on Gus Edwards that I absolutely love. I feel like it makes a ton of sense too. Like the Texans run D has been really strong. Just straight up lining up, trying to run against them. I don't really think like Justice Hill is going to cook or do anything like that. So Lamar, again, it's 290 on FanDuel. Shout out to FanDuel. It's like plus 185 on DraftKings. So again, FanDuel, best in the market here. But a couple other parts of it too is that Lamar's average time to throw when he's clean, like 2.6 seconds. It's like pretty fast. When he's pressured, 4.18, highest in the league. And it makes sense a little bit, right? When you think about it, he's an insane athlete, buys time with his legs, he can extend plays, and his average depth of targets like nearly double. So like when he extends plays, he takes shots deep. But also it leads to a ton of scrambles, and he leads the league in scrambles when pressured. And I think because the Texans are going to do a good job at causing some like just a little bit of pause for Lamar, I think we're going to have a little bit more panic Lamar scrambles here, a little bit more tuck and run than normal. We also have the like rushing quarterback in the playoffs mechanism in place that we've talked about last couple of weeks here. I think there's going to be a time or two where he doesn't run and maybe he forces the ball into coverage. So Lamar to lead the game in rushing plus 290, longest rush over 15.5 is minus 122 on FanDuel. He's done that the last 3 games here. Over 9.5 rushing attempts, best on FanDuel as well, minus 122, and he's plus 112 to throw a pick. So you can't parlay these at all, but I think that they're all somewhat correlated in terms of what I expect to happen in the game when the Ravens have the ball. Those are some, again, there's 4 bets in one. They're all somewhat the same. So, Connor, any thoughts there that kind of pick up from the handicap we touched on Wednesday in terms of how we think that game is going to go defensively?
Yeah, no, I love it. I have done some parlays with that game I guess I'll just touch on it now because I think the Texans can win. I think that they can cover, hit 10. I mean, it's a super contrarian take. Again, we're getting literally one of the most liquid markets in sports telling me that I'm wrong and that the Ravens should be 10-point favorites, but fuck them. We're going to win, and the Texans are going to win outright here because this Ravens run defense is not that good. Their pass defense is good, but they're missing their top cornerback in Marlon Humphrey. CJ Stroud, awesome against zone. They play a ton of zone. And the other side of the ball, that Texans defense, they're not very good, but they do random stuff that confused Joe Flacco. And, all you got to do is create a couple of turnovers. Like, that's all it takes. And a guy like Lamar, we've seen him drop the ball in previous situations as, number 1 seed in a spot where he had to play catch up. I mean, if they go up at all, I think that the Texans are very live. Jeff chiming in here. That's right, Connor. Fuck him. Yeah, hell yeah, Jeff. Let's get him. So yeah, I don't know. I think that parlays revolving around the Texans keeping it close, maybe not even winning. Just take a plus 7.5, take a plus 3.5, something like that, and then a Lamar pick or Lamar rushing, Gus Edwards unders, all of those I've made parlays with. It's bad because I go to the gym and just sit on the treadmill on my phone and bet. And so my bet slips after the gym is just it's a disaster. I'm literally
parlaying crazy. To the gym.
It still does count. That's what it's been great for my health and horrible.
Great mental sweat too.
Right. So yeah, that's my take there. I don't know. I think it's kind of spicy, but a little bit fun.
Where are you at on this one, Slot?
I like Lamar throwing a pick. If I was in charge, you would be able to parlay those. There'd be no reason why you should not be able to parlay that. The Baltimore weather is not bad. Hang on. We got some wind. What do you guys think about that? Not a lot, though. It's 14 miles an hour. I think we're good. The reason that's important is because I think Stroud goes 250 easily. And at FanDuel right now, it's plus 118. That. I don't know. I think that the Ravens will be able to score on the Texans. I don't think it's going to be one of these one-sided games where one team can't really move the ball, so Stroud will or should have to throw it, right? I mean, so 50 for him. That guy's awesome. He's unbelievable. He is awesome. He is no joke. I think it's going to go down as probably one of the worst misses ever by the Panthers by taking Young in front of him because this guy he's a difference maker. The Texans are in the playoffs right now. And Connor's talking about them beating the one, you know what I'm saying? But think about it back in August. What was your thought of the Texans? You didn't think about him. So he's legit. I mean, and like I said, 250 plus 118, that's not crazy at all, dude. I mean, they shouldn't be giving us plus 118 for that. So thank you, FanDuel.
Yeah, again, shout out FanDuel. Yeah. I mean, not even that they took Young, but what they had to give up to make that move to get made the decision that's the guy. It's oh man. Oof. Yeah. And then obviously you suck so bad that you end up in the top spot again and you can't even take that pick. Really, really rough time for the Panthers fans. But yeah. I mean, I think that game is going to be spicy. I'm with Connor on the Texans side for sure, especially 9.5. I think is way too many points, but wanted to find props that kind of fit that too. There's one more I was going to talk about at the end, but I'll talk about it now. It's also, I can't parlay it, but there are multiple options on the board for a sack for the Texans. We'll just go with the soon-to-be defensive rookie of the year, who's the best pass rusher on the Texans. This is Will Anderson Jr. on FanDuel, plus 132 to record a sack. That counts as a half sack. DraftKings also has similar price. I think it's plus 124 over a quarter sack. So FanDuel's got the best number there. But 6 pressures last week against Flacco. Playing time's going up a little bit since he's got back and healthy. Like I said, I think they're going to confuse him. He's going to hold the ball a little bit more, and Will Anderson Jr. gets home at plus money to get a sack there. So it's basically 5 plays around one thought of a game and how it goes. Unfortunately, again, I tried to parlay, pick with a sack. Can't do it, unfortunately. So, but they all work and they're all plus money. So go get them.
Yeah, no, we honestly though, Ryan, we need this for every game. We got to realize, dude, this is coming to an end very fast. Like
No.
So like you gotta have a lot of action on all 4 of these games because, dude, it's it's slow going from here on out.
Yeah.
So I was considering betting CJ Stroud rushing over again, but like I bet it last week, and I mean they just absolutely took a dump on the Browns. Like literally, a guy was open within 2 seconds every play, so he never had to scramble. And the one time he did have to scramble, it was for like 2 yards because it was right at the goal line. My issue is that I don't know. I kind of think that he's going to be able to find plenty of passing lanes again if he needs to, which is again a hot take, but it's not leading me to bet the rushing over. So I don't know. Maybe I'll regret it and he'll have like a 10-yard run in the first play, and I'll be like, that's what we needed last week. But I don't know. It's something I'm struggling with. So
I had the same thought with Jordan Love. I'm like, I want to go back to Jordan Love's attempts because that game got out of hand so fast. There was no shot in the middle of the second quarter. Like he's not running the football at all. It's not how that game we thought that game was going to go. But yeah, I think they don't have as much success protecting him in this game. And yeah, so over 2.5 attempts. I didn't even dig and see the prices, but I'm sure it's plus money and out there again. So. All right, spicy section, Connor. I don't know what we got left. I know you gave a little bit of spice there, but I know it's you have limited plays this week. I don't know what you got left or what you want to do here, but floor is yours.
Yeah, a couple of them. So we talked about that first game with like the Lions and the Bucks a little bit, and kind of just what I think is going to happen with both teams passing a lot here. And I don't think that there's a couple of different ways to play it. So you can play on FanDuel Baker 325 plus, Goff 325 plus. David Montgomery's rushing under, Rashad White's rushing under, and that's 46-1. I mean, just very correlated. Like neither team can run, both teams pass. I believe both of them already hit that in their last game against each other, or at least it was close. And then if you want to go to ESPN bet, I posted this in our Discord, but I don't think that they're properly pricing the correlation on the volume props, right? So at ESPN bet, you can parlay pass attempts and receptions. So I parlayed Baker 38 pass attempts, Evans over 6.5 receptions, and Rashad White 5+ receptions. Because again, the Lions get up, the Bucks start passing the ball a bunch. I mean, all of those are correlated. You're talking 17-1. So I think that all of those are pretty solid right there. And then one of my favorites, 2 that I'm going to be round robining again. Round robins of the week went 0 for 4, 0 for 5 last week, which totally sucked because Mecole Hardman was like a gimme. I mean, my God, we had Mecole Hardman 40+ yards. I mean, he had 130 million air yards and couldn't catch a single fucking one for 50 yards. I mean, what a joke. He might be worse than MVS, which is sad because I give him a hard time. But I like Isaiah Likely alts and Jameson Williams alts. If you can round robin those, big fan of those.
More JAMO. We just as JAMO. It's got to be the cover art today. I don't know if it's
JAMO show.
Probably too late, but yeah. All right, Slop. What do we got? We got any spice? We got any other alts that are left? I know Jeff's
just normal level of spice, but
okay.
Goff 3+ touchdowns at FanDuel plus 250 kind of feels like the move. I mean, all right. So for one, the Buccaneers are very stingy against the run. Nobody gave up fewer rushing touchdowns to running backs. The only issue is the Rams were kind of in that boat too last week, and the Lions were able to get 2 in against them. So, that could happen. But like I said, I don't think the Buccaneers have seen an NFL defense or NFL offense in weeks now. So there is that. Price is right here, plus 250. I mean, Brock Purdy did this against them. CJ Stroud threw 5 against them. I mean, they're capable of just getting rocked. And I don't know. I think the Lions are going to roll into the NFC Championship game. I think they're going to hang 30+, and 3 just doesn't feel like that much. So at plus 250, I mean that feels right.
What's 4?
I love that question, Ryan.
Yeah, why not us? Why not one more?
Why are we stopping? I mean, I guess if Purdy threw 3 and CJ threw 5, then the logical step would be a 4-bagger. Hang on, it's almost there. Very easy to navigate FanDuel too. Plus 880 for 4.
Yeah, apparently you had a salad this week though, and you're basically a vegan. So I mean, are you even legally allowed to bet 4+ touchdowns, or did you get?
I was gonna do a salad. Like I almost did one, but I ended up eating pasta that night. So technically, I didn't do it. I mean, I almost did. I had the salad here, but I couldn't do it. it was bowling night, and like we were gonna go drinking after. It's like that's just a bad idea to only have.
You can't drink on a stomach when you had a salad. I feel like that's like a rule.
That ain't gonna work, dude. Like, I mean, so
you're gonna be drunk in 0.5 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
So
two
it's like,
beers and you're gonna be buzzed.
Hey, I thought ahead. I made it. But yeah, I almost did have a salad. I'm gonna try and lose some weight, man. I need like 10 pounds, like nothing crazy, but like I go up the stairs and I'm like gassed. And I'm like, this is bad. Like this is I'm like breathing heavy. I'm like, man, what is wrong with me? And it's
there's
getting fat.
You're gonna love this. So there's a website where you can bet on your weight loss against a company. And like you can literally so you take a picture of you on the scale, multiple pictures, you verify it, and you can bet whatever you want to bet on it. And there's like a multiplier of how much weight you want to lose versus how much time. And you can like literally bet on it. I almost did this like a little bit ago. I decided not to, but I seriously considered it because it sounds like I love gamifying like everything possible. Yeah. I mean, this sounds sick, right?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That would have been great in the pandemic. And they should have had that. You know, that would have been awesome. You could bet on other people's weight losses. Like that would have been great. Like that's what I mean. If I can bet on other people, then I'll do it.
Oh my god!
But no, yeah. So I don't know. So yeah. So anyways, I did not have. I started to though. The thought was I might do it next week, one of those days.
I don't know. What's the downside of being able to get drunk off of just 2 beers? It sounds super efficient to me, right? Isn't that the plan?
No, because then you can't hang out and watch games without like I don't know. You want to keep like drinking. You don't want to like just like have like a sip, like 1 ounce like every 20 minutes. Like imagine 2 beers over the course of a game is, I mean, you're not even able to like drink it. Like you're just like slurping like little tiny like things, you know.
Or like because you end up having like 5, you don't have like 2, you end up having like 6, and then now you're like black.
Yeah, then you're black.
Like light beer just because you had nothing to eat. It's like what? Like that's a mess.
That's a good point.
Pick you up. Like what? You had a couple Miller Lights. Can't walk. Like whoa.
Sounds like a cheap, fun way for me. I got to take a break, have some water, maybe a salad, maybe bring another beer. Salad. Yeah, grab a beer.
I think you kind of defeat the purpose of the salad when you eat like 5 salads. You know what I mean? It's you have like 2,000 calories of salad. Like,
just salad, but you just cover it in like bacon bits and like ranch dressing.
Yeah,
like, I don't think that's really what you think it's doing. Yeah, I don't think that's it.
It's diet if you drink a 2 liter, man.
I want to keep the JAMO section rolling here. I mentioned it earlier a little bit, the JAMO specific play, under 2.5 receptions, 60 plus receiving yards, plus 2250 on FanDuel. Now here's where we get a little bit wild. You have to go to DraftKings for this because they have all of it and they let you do it, but they don't really let you do it. Connor is going to be interested in this because I know he already pushed out some Trey Palmer thoughts. And maybe he's moved the Trey Palmer stuff a little bit because now you could take the same game, Trey Palmer under 1.5 receptions. It's a little tricky, because 2.5 was available earlier. So under 1.5 receptions, because this guy's been breaking big plays. He did it last week. I know cashed some big tickets for Connor doing this. 40 plus receiving yards, and you do the same for JAMO because they won't let you do anything more than 40. So we got 4 legs. We got Palmer under 1.5, 40 plus. JAMO under 2.5, 40 plus. $10 to win $15K. Plus 150,000 to 1. Now, fine folks at DraftKings let me bet 7 cents on this. Okay, 7 cents. That's $105 on 7 cents. So they're going to limit you. They're not going to let you put the $10 down, but 10 to win. 15.
Wait. All right. So go back. What can I do this at FanDuel?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So the Palmer one is tough. Like, you can do it on FanDuel, I think, too, right? I did the Palmer one a bunch.
There was an element of it that was different. Maybe it was the
so Palmer under 1.5 receptions.
Yep.
And then you have to take it over on his yards. Yeah.
And then 40 plus on his yards. I'm doing this right now.
So we hit this slop. You were gone last week, but we talked about this. Trey Palmer under 2.5 receptions and 40 plus and 50 plus yards. It was 20 to 1 and 40 to 1, and both of them hit. It was like I bet like I don't know, $2,500 something like that on a $40 bet basically total. It was you missed out. That's what happens when you go to Aruba, bro.
I know.
Come on, man.
I know. I messed up. Yeah. So this is like 86,000 to 1. What
Yeah.
does 10 bucks get me?
Don't you do it?
Yeah, 10 gets me $8,000.
There you go.
So
You probably bet it on FanDuel. So
Yeah,
you
I
can
did.
reduce Palmer to 25 plus on FanDuel. And you can get 25 to win 15 grand on JMO under 2.5, Jameson 50 plus, Palmer under 1.5, 25 plus. So all you need is a 125-yard catch from Trey
I just need
Palmer.
one
And then
40-yard catch now. So Palmer can only get me a 40-yard catch.
Yeah.
He's got it. He can
Easy.
do
Did
that.
it last week. So
Yep.
that's the same game spice that I think is hey, like you said, this is going away, people. Right?
this is hot.
You're not going to miss that $10. You sure as hell
No.
will miss it if it hits, So
I'm like, Matt, I went to Aruba. It's like the best place on earth, too.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
this is a fun one. I know Connor got some spice on it and like under 2.5 on Palmer. They don't have the courage to post David Moore because I would eat that up for sure. The OG David Moore, we'd love to make that play, but yeah, they don't have the courage to take that on. So
I was trying to find other ones. So basically what happened, so Palmer was released again at 2.5 receptions, which it was like massively juiced, but that doesn't matter when you're taking like the non-correlated stuff.
Right.
It still boosts the odds like crazy. So I got that again this week and posted in Discord, and I combined it with like just a bunch of shit, like everything, like literally just was like taking that under Baker Mayfield 325 plus that under, and then like Jaden Reed
Texans
7
money
receptions.
line.
Yeah, Texans money line. I have this is a good one. Here we go. Palmer under 2.5, Palmer 40 plus yards, Baker 325 plus, Texans minus 6.5, and then Jaden Reed 7 plus, 10 to win $32,000. I mean, why not, right? It's when you see me in Aruba, you'll know what. So good.
Yeah, they're only
Really?
1.5 on Palmer. I like the 2.5. That way I got 2 chances.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Christian Watson's though? Like this week, I think that could be another one that's fun because, I mean, he's still rotating, still not playing a ton of volume, but like a deep threat guy. I've bet his before and won as well. Yeah. I think that could be a fun one.
We did the opposite. I think the only time I've won on these was the opposite on Jaden Reed, over receptions, under on yards, which is I think viable too. Where he caught like I think 6 for 52 or whatever. So yeah, I think playing around with a few of these. I mean, I think Mike Evans is always in play for these as well, with just the nature of how he wins. I prefer him. I prefer a 5.5 on the receptions if I can get an under. So 4.5 is pretty low, but especially in a spot where I already played over on attempts for Baker. But again, I played over on attempts and not over on completions for a reason too, because Baker can be massively inefficient at times and does take some deep shots. So yeah, I think there's a few ways to play around with these for sure.
What do we think about Amon-Ra 9 receptions and under 91 yards, 15 to 1?
Yeah,
I mean,
I plugged it in just to see what it was. Yeah,
I mean, 9 for 88. I mean, that's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Watson under 2.5, over 28.5 is 500. I mean, that's
great.
That's not ridiculous. I'd rather have the 40 plus though.
Yeah, we'll pop that sucker in there.
Let's
that?
see what we got. Hang on, I'm getting there.
Yeah, let's get real spicy too. Let's
do
this
plus 1,000.
Now let's try
40 yards.
2 balls for 45 yards.
Let's try the other side though. Let's bring it back with either big splash plays from Debo or big splash plays from Ayuk, under 4.5 receptions, over whatever 80 yards or whatever you think.
Yeah, what do you think? Debo's like 80
I would say I'd go Ayuk.
Ayuk, okay.
I'm scared of Debo because I don't know those little short bullshit routes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Ayuk seems under 4.5. And then what do we got for yards? We throw him in with Watson. I'd say we probably have to go 70 yards.
It's like 70 or 80 probably, right? For 4 catches. I mean, he can do it, but
that's still I think that's like 11,000, almost 12,000. I'd say get rid of
what?
I'd say go to another game, maybe do a JMO 2.5 40.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you guys just ruined my brain. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, these are so fun.
I'm gonna have like a million. I'm like, man, why do I have all these bets out? And it's like I don't have that much money out. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna look at my picket and be like, dude, I could win $3 million today. How? I have a bunch of reverse correlation receiver parlays, like way too many. Hey, it's our last chance, man, because next week is Championship Sunday, right? So that's what 2 games, and then the next week's the Super Bowl. Like that's it. This is it. It's the last time you can really just get stupid.
Yeah, I like it. I think this Green Bay San Fran game has some of them in there. I think getting some different iterations, mixing in some of the different receivers. There's something there.
Watson was set up perfect just because Wicks is healthy, Reed's healthy, Musgrave. You can tell they want to play the other tight end, that Kraft kid.
Yep.
And I'm missing.
Bo Melton's been playing well. Bo Melton's been playing well.
So, and he's coming back from a hamstring. Maybe ease him in. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but maybe you do that. I mean, you can talk yourself into that. So he catches two balls, catches one ball for 35 yards, and he's all set.
Yeah. I like it. It's fun. All right. Yeah, it's going away. It's going away, people. Okay. And in a couple of weeks, you're going to be clamoring for some of these, and be responsible, but have some fun. Live a little bit. So all right, Connor, what do you got left? Anything else on the board? Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, nothing like official. I guess one that I'm struggling with, and I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. So last week we saw John Mechie out snap and run way more routes than Robert Woods, but their props are the same. So John Mechie's at 25 yards, Robert Woods at 22. I don't know. Is it just too thin because these guys suck? Also, Nico Collins over 5.5 receptions is coming down right now. It's minus 145, was minus 180 or something like that earlier. It was 6.5 even at one point. I mean, I don't know. I feel like minus 130 might be a buy point on the over there. I don't know. It's just all this Texans wide receiver stuff I find fascinating. I mean, do you guys Noonan, do you have a take on this at all? About the rotation there?
Do you think it's in terms of Nico specifically? Do you think that that's weather related? Because I know we have the total drop 3 points since open, but I don't know, man. If it's maybe force feeding Nico, and he's been so good. I'm not super worried about Brandon Stevens shutting him down or anything like that. So in terms of the secondary pieces, I don't know. I don't have any hot takes or any preference, but I mean, Robert Woods is just, I think, a little bit dusty at this point. So Mechie's got a little bit of at least juice in him, I think.
Yeah, I was debating on an under on Woods, but it's only 22. So I think you'd find slop in the bathroom throwing up if I took that on the show.
Dude, that's tough to watch, man.
Yeah.
Nothing. Go for it.
We absolute hammer under tackle prop last week, 3.5. So even though I felt so good about it, it's still 3.5. So it's tough to. I got 2 tackles, so we were fine. But it's just anytime that he's on the field, you're just son of a bitch, don't even get near the play. But yeah, hey, what can you do? I'm trying to grow in my ways.
On the pile, and the score is going to give him a tackle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Noonan, you have another tackle under, right? Another banger this week. I got my phone ready to go, so I'm pumped for this week. I will say, for those of you who are not understanding, Noonan's tackle overs are awesome. They're great. They hit at a good rate. Noonan's tackle unders are 80% in the last 2 years. So I mean, just saying, be responsible, but they're really, really strong.
Yeah, they typically have been pretty strong. So it moved a little bit. We're still gonna play it. I'm just gonna update the actual number here. Still playable, but we're gonna push this slop. Well, I can get back to you. Is there anything else that you have in your third play or
just Baker 300 plus passing yards plus 225? Let's get his game. He looks like an actual quarterback. I mean, I don't know what you guys think of him, but last week or so, he's got zip on the ball. I mean, he's kind of legit. He's done this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 of the last 5 games. One game where he didn't, he went 280 against Jacksonville. The other game was against the Panthers, which that did stink. But at the same time, like they defend the pass, so I'll give them a break. Plus, they're not Detroit. Detroit, I mean, they give up the pass yards like it's their job. And to everybody, like whoever you are, you can throw on them. It's chuck and duck time. I think Detroit scores all over them. Now Tampa Bay's probably going to throw more than they want to. They've got enough weapons. It's not just Evans and Godwin. I mean, the Brown kid obviously does something. Our boy Trey Palmer, friend of the show, Kate Otten was getting involved. Like, I mean, so he's got dudes. The kid out of the backfield, 300 feels right, and it's plus 225 at Fan. I mean, it's a hefty price for the kind of game that I expect. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like your dad's 300-yard passing game. You know what I mean? This is like today's football.
I don't need it. I played over on attempts, like I said, 34.5 on Baker. So yeah, I think he's gonna chuck for sure. So yeah,
Brian, that's a great question. Bring it up. I think that Tampa can stop the run. I really do. I think they're gonna be able to kind of keep him in check. Like, not, nothing crazy. Like, I just don't think TikTok is in play here for Detroit. Like, they're not just gonna sit there and just pound. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, the Bucs
Also,
are number one in
his palms.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They're number one in run DVOA over the last 5 weeks. Since Vita Vea returned, they've been awesome. Like top 5 in success rate. Their whole season metrics are, not that great from the run defense perspective, but they've been playing really, really well as of late. They've been playing easier opponents, but I still think that there's, we saw them last week. They, dominated the Eagles' offensive line for a lot of the game. So.
Yeah, I think when that happens, it's throw time. You know what I mean? Like, that coordinator in Detroit is smart enough. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna move the ball, but they'll probably move it through the air.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there'll be enough play volume here where path of least resistance, I think, for both teams is passing, and then incompletion, stop the clock, right? Those things definitely help play volume as well. So. All right, tackle. Sorry, it's an underslop, but I think it's a really good play. We are going to play. This is on DraftKings. This is also available on MGM at the same price. Caesars is a little bit more expensive. We're going to Detroit, and we're going to play an under on Kirby Joseph. Under 4.5 tackles and assists. He is a safety for the Lions, and this is it's a 3-man rotation at safety. We've had 2 weeks. What's that?
Stafford's friend.
Yeah. Yeah. we got with CJ Gardner-Johnson came back healthy a couple weeks ago. And I was really curious how they were going to do this because they got Tracy Walker there as well. They got Brian Branch, who plays like this slot corner safety hybrid role. And then they've taken Ifeatu Milanofo, who's like a corner, but they moved him to safety. And when they put him to safety, he's been balling out. Like he won like NFC defensive player of the week a couple weeks ago. He's been playing really well. So I was like, what are they going to do here? And it's a straight rotation based off of not even play here and there. It's like, this is your series with the 2 of you. And now you rotate in and now it's the 2 of you. It's a straight rotation. We have back-to-back weeks where Kirby Joseph he's gone from an every down player to playing 64% of the snaps and 67% of the snaps. So even if he gets a little bit lucky and says say he's on the high side and plays 70, 75% of the snaps, he's still coming in under 4 tackles in my projection here. So 70%, which again, he has not done for the past 2 weeks. He's coming in at 3.6 tackles in this matchup because it's also a really good spot to fade safeties against the Bucs as well. 19.5% of the tackles this season against the Bucs have come from the safety position. It's 26th in the league. It just hasn't been a spot where we've been targeting. So yeah, under a little bit, you're paying a little bit of juice, but I think worth it. Something we kind of played in the chat last week because I thought hey, there's something going on here playing time wise. It was 5.5. He finished with 2 tackles last week. So under 4.5 feels pretty good. I think again, he's going to have to be uber efficient in a bad matchup to get here in top 4.5. So willing to lay -120 on DK to see it. So there we are.
Amazing. Don't have much to add because don't know anything about the nuances of what you just talked about, but I think it was a banger.
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. I have no idea how you figure that out.
You guys haven't been digging in on Fetu Melifonwu tape these days?
I don't even know if that's a real person.
Is a real person. It's good. It's good. He'll be on the field, 2/3 of the time with his other two teammates who, we don't have CJ Gardner-Johnson lines and we don't have lines for him too. So Kirby's the one we're going to attack. So Sachs already gave out a Will Anderson Jr. So that's all I got, Connor. You got a pretty decent amount of comments here. Start in the section. We can run through some of this.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of comments today. Appreciate you guys and keep firing them. I'll get to them because we got a little bit of time here. So Jeff Stenberg took his first L in a kicker play. Was not in my mentions. I kind of didn't really notice just because I got so used to it that it was a little weird. But it's kind of interesting. Slop looks like one of Jeff Dunham's puppets. Scary. Nice. All right, that's good. We got more Slop love. Slop is a personality and he knows this is why he's successful. And there you go. We got a lot of Slop love in the chat right here.
A lot of Slop.
Yeah, good for you, man. I appreciate that. Jeff saying we need a Slop rating for everything. Sportsbook, burritos, 4XL sweatshirts, everything. Give us like a burrito rating. Like, what you got like a fast food burrito rating? Anything? Like
you guys don't have it. Mexico. So Mexico, it's there in Tewksbury. Dude, it's the best place ever. We literally go every Monday because they do $5 burritos and they're like giant burritos or bowls. And it's like $5, dude. And it's like
in this
really
economy,
good.
I mean, that's wild.
Yeah, no, I'm saying every time I'm like, how do you we can't afford not to eat here? You know what I mean? So it's every Monday we go to Mexico and the place is packed. It's pretty much every kid in town. So the entire high school is there, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So you go in, you get your bowls and burritos. It's again, I would go right now, but it's burger night, so I'm not.
Well, that sounds awesome. I'm a big Pancheros guy. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's like in some states in the Midwest, they they make their tortillas fresh and then they press them like fresh for you. They make them super good. Don't eat a ton of burritos, but got a lot of good salsas, good meat.
Yeah, so they have all the different meats you can get. And I mean, this is pretty much like a Chipotle or whatever, but it's just just a mom and pop, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm a big have a bowl before burrito guy.
Okay,
but that works too.
You do the burritos or the bowls?
Bowl first.
Okay.
And then then go get a burrito. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, dude, double
slamming, bro. I like to get the tortilla on the side with the bowl, and then you can make your own burrito. With whatever you want. Then you got little extras left.
I'll mess up my clothes if I do that. I'd get it all over myself.
Well, that's good. There's our little burrito, extravaganza there. We got, let's see here. Jeff saying Mechie 50+ receiving yards at +260. Slop is one of your plays, right?
No. I don't mind that one though. I don't like to agree with Jeff about a lot, but I'll co-sign on that. I mean that 260, I would see that. I mean, they're gonna have to figure out something because it can't just be Nico. So Mechie didn't like that.
Mary Rose said she played the Jameson under 3 receptions at 90+. Mary, if you let me know where there's a 3.5, would absolutely love that. Because then I think it unlocks some of that 70, 80, 90 kind of threshold there. So even a juiced 3.5, because I mean, two receptions, 70 yards is really, really tough. Let's see here. Big Dogs was chiming in today a bunch. How about Amon-Ra and Ayuk over, since both got snubbed from the Pro Bowl, and over passing completion? Goff got snubbed too. I don't personally put too much stock in them getting snubbed from the Pro Bowl. I think that the matchup and kind of everything means a little bit more.
Not Noonan, this time of year.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Amon-Ra though? Or yeah.
I think it probably would affect the quarterback more than a receiver though, because the receiver still has to rely on someone throwing him the ball. Does that make sense? Well, at least the quarterback, I mean, if you want to go that narrative route, at least you can talk about the guy touches the ball every play. So there's that. But I don't know. You would have to, if you're a receiver, your best friend would have to be the quarterback or something. There'd have to be some weird shower narrative going on there.
It's also a playoff game, right? No one's or we got to force targets to so-and-so because he didn't make the Pro Bowl. It's to Connor's point, it's you either like it because the matchup is good or you probably don't. So I don't keep some of the other stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that wouldn't
Let's see
matter.
here.
Maybe in like a week 18 game on a team that
Sure.
doesn't
Incentives.
make the play like that. You would have to go down a weird. Like they could. I'm not saying it never, man. I'm just saying like in this particular circumstance, no. Like this is a playoff game. These guys are ready to run through a wall no matter what.
Yeah,
for sure. And then he chimed in with Bucks and Niners to cover the spread and under 51 points in San Francisco Green Bay game, 3-team parlay. I like the Bucks as an interesting leg at +6. I know Slop disagrees. He probably likes the Lions. The Niners cover the spread. I mean, it's a massive spread, but I do think that they score a ton of points. And so that's tough for me on the under. I would lean towards San Francisco team total. Noonan, I think you're kind of in the same boat that way, right?
yeah. San Francisco team total. If you think Green Bay is even somewhat live to hang there, I think you have to like the over. Just like I just don't think they're slowing down San Francisco's offense. Like that's, I guess, Green Bay cover is probably not a 24-20 game, in my opinion. So
Right.
Green Bay cover is, you're getting like 35-31 or something like that. So that's pushing it over. Just my thought of how that game goes.
For sure. And then this is a fun one. So Bennett said, going back to with Kelsey over receiving yards, easy smash spot. I mean, they fed him last week. He still kind of looks like he needs to be eating more salads and, get on the train. But I mean, he's out there. He's trusted. He's still got a little bit of wiggle, in a big guy kind of way. Slop, any thoughts here on Kelsey?
No, the numbers are always inflated on him. It's just they're always too high. You know what I mean? Like he could have
61 is not horrible though.
No, not that's low. That's very low for him. But
yeah,
maybe I'll look at 61. Like I could maybe get in there, but every time you see him, I don't even. I mean, it's like 70 something yards, 7.5 receptions or something. I can't do that. I don't have a lot of brain power, so I don't want to waste it on trying to figure out if the guy's going to catch 8 balls this week. You don't need to feel like I pass and find somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I think just some of the injuries on the Buffalo side make some of that pretty appealing. I don't know. I played Pacheco over rush attempts because again, FanDuel was a little off market. It was like if they were 14.5, everyone else was already at 15.5 were juiced in some spots. But I think they run the ball well too. So that makes me a little nervous on some of the passing stuff for Kansas City. But yeah, I mean, we need to get the final injury report and final status of some of those Bills defenders because that's tough. I mean, like longest for Pacheco, I think is interesting. There's some of those things to explore too. But yeah, I don't hate Kelsey, especially with the linebackers being beat up.
I think KC can run the ball.
Yeah, that's scary. My kind of worry is that like, what if both teams can run the ball? Like, this game's going to be horrible to watch, but like it's going to be just like 17-14 or something like that, or like 2017. And
then if you got Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, like you're just sitting there, you're drawing dead so early in that game, and it's the last one of the day, Sunday. It's the last one of the weekend, so like, what does it start at 6:30 Eastern time? So you're pretty much dead in the water at like 7:30. Like you know what I mean? Like that's
7:15. I mean, like
bad way to go out. So watch those passing overs in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally agree. I thought about playing a Josh Allen under, but didn't have the stomach for it. Just because I think that game can devolve pretty quickly. I mean, it's 227. 227.
Like, how do you go under that? But then, like, all right, so I'm going to go over, and then that's what scared me off with the run games, like both of them. But Kansas City, especially, it's like this sucks. Like, I don't know. So I'm gonna wait until Sunday to make my final decision on that one. I got it's the last one of the weekend, 3 games ahead of it. No need to.
Yeah. Just wake up, go to Mexico the night before, wake up, eat a burrito, and then, you got to feel the gut, wherever it's.
Get your mind right.
Burrito. Like, maybe.
All right, let's hear. We have Noonan. If you like Lamar to lead rushing, thoughts on attempts at 9 at -103.
Yeah, I mentioned it. I mentioned over 9.5. I thought that was the best number that I saw at the time was FanDuel 9.5 -120.
9 -103 is.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, but yeah.
Yeah, where's that?
That's a good question. We got also, whenever you guys post stuff in the chat, just try and add prices because I think it makes it, or like location, because it makes a big difference, I think, for us. Could be like Prize Picks or something like that. Who knows? But there wouldn't be a juice attached to it, so who knows? Let's see here. Do we likely with Andrews coming back? Andrews not coming back. He's not going to play this week. I played Isaiah No, he's not going to play this week.
Okay.
I played his over at 34.5. He's never had less than 40 in a game without Mark Andrews that he played the entirety of. I'm not counting the last week's game where like the starters like kind of played a little bit here and there. I mean, ran over 80% of the routes in every game, 40 plus in every game, averaged 58. So I don't know. I might play some alts too. Who knows? I mean, I just think it's like Texans are not great against defending the tight end either. If I like any of those guys to go off, I think that it could be a guy like Likely. Maybe the weather's a massive concern, but even then, like he's not a super high ADOT guy. He's just a beast. So
the weather doesn't look that bad. Like I just like that.
Right.
Earlier in the week, though, it had like rain and like all kinds of wind. Like it was a weird weather game. We'll say that. And now it's not. So
3.5 receptions plus money, unlikely as well. I like that a lot. Just catch 4 balls. Yeah. 4 balls plus 120. I like it.
I thought
I'm
Andrews
in on that
play, and I just made a parlay while we were hanging out. It's like $10 to get almost 15 grand, but it has Beckham Jr. in it, like under receptions over 40 yards. But I like that a lot better with Andrews in. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, if Andrews played, because then I mean Beckham's only seeing 2-3 balls.
Yeah.
See, Slav's brain is just broken now.
It's over.
Like literally mid-show.
I'll never be the same.
He's dialing up uncorrelated parlays.
Before reverse correlation parlays and after reverse correlation parlays. That's how my life's gonna be broken up now.
You get 10 of them for $10 each. It's like a normal bet, but now you got 10 different bets.
Put them all in on the same one.
There you go.
Wild.
9 of them.
3 of them in
the other
there.
one is the
other. I got J-Mo, Watson, and Beckham Jr.
So I do think though that like since we have an edge, and I'm trying to figure out an efficient way to do this, I probably need to get a bot. Is to round robin these things, like round robin the uncorrelated parlays, because basically when you have an edge, which I know we do because the pricing is broken. They've already admitted that. Like FanDuel's like their pricing is broken on it. When you have an edge, like parlaying it and round robining it only emphasizes that further. So like, you know, even if you're only betting literally 50 cents, $1 on each one, like each like combined with like 2 or 3 different uncorrelated ones. I mean, if you hit 2 of them, you're literally just like, you can win 1 out of every like 1,000 and be profitable basically. And you're definitely going to win way, way more than 2 out of every 3 and 1 every 1,000. So I don't know, just a thought. Probably not something I'm technologically capable of, but
we can
do it by hand. Yeah, right.
OddsJam has some very, very smart guys in the back of the house. They don't play.
You know, add them to the DM group, and we'll get them to say you want to make money. We can tweet about it and everything. It'll be great.
We just need a plot.
Let's see here. All right, Kittle over receptions. Noonan, any Kittle thoughts? Pretty good matchup.
Yeah, good matchup. I think that's where they're going to try to attack Green Bay's defense. They're pretty poor over the middle of the field. We played over on Jonathan Owens tackles for the Packers and safety. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard. I feel like you're playing whack-a-mole with those pass catchers there. Like they're all good. They're all talented. They almost all have good matchups, but like the rhyme or reason as to why one pops one week and not, it's really, really hard. So just binary props on any of these guys is just not super appealing to me.
Yeah, if you go under on Kittle's catches and over 53.5 yards, in that same parlay I just talked about, it's 10 to get 106 grand. So that could work.
Let's go.
Look at that. You get all 4 of those guys. Just 4 guys. That's it. Just 4 guys. Just being dudes.
It's 4 bros being bros. You got a Porsche on the other side.
6-figure payout.
Yeah.
That's 106 grand. I'll take that.
Slav, my only request is that when you hit the 106 grand, you do not quit the show because you don't have to work anymore for at least a year. You just got to come on. You can flaunt the ticket every single show.
No, I'm saying, all right. So what would happen is I would post that ticket literally every day and find a different way to talk about it that I maybe have not talked about it yet. Even if I had, maybe I'll run it back. You know, and we'll talk about it again.
Yeah,
that would be a very fun hit. You imagine that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I cannot imagine. I mean, even like hitting the Palmer one last week for 20-1 and 40-1, I was like going nuts because I'd already lost 2 of my regular props. And so I was like, it saved the day. I mean, literally yeah.
I want to hit one of those lottos just because like you're sitting there refreshing your FanDuel and then all of a sudden it goes from like whatever you got, like $5 grand and then like 110 grand. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like that's a hell of a increase.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty wild. So we'll see. I mean, we'll come back a little bit richer, next week, and we'll talk about it then. Let me see. We got a couple more here. Mayfield over 8 rushing yards, -105. I don't know. I'm not really a Mayfield guy. Noonan slop. Any
No, I'm not
thoughts?
doing that.
You know,
Throw it,
I mean,
maybe.
he's running a little bit, but it's not like probably a good line.
Yeah, 2 for
It feels
16
like you
last
need
week.
the right play. You know what I'm saying? This like I don't know. It's not one of those that I don't really think a lot of like a handicap goes into that one. I think it just either happens or it doesn't.
Yeah, that's kind of the tough part for me as well. Romeo Dobbs over 35.5 seems free. Someone talked me out of that. I prefer Jaden Reed. I think Romeo Dobbs is a good spot too, but I'm more of a Jaden Reed guy. I played a ton of 12 personnel last week with Dobbs, Wicks, kind of the bigger outside receivers. Now I think they're gonna play a little more 11 as they play catch up. So I mean, Dobbs is, I don't think it's a bad look. I just don't, I think that Reed over 3.5 receptions was a little bit of a better look there.
Too many guys there.
Yeah.
In Green Bay, like if all those guys are playing, the receivers are healthy. I mean, Wicks, Reed, Watson, Dobbs, the Kraft kid. I mean, my guy Musgrave. I get him for 25 plus. I think he does it. But like, it's almost like if you believe in like a few of those guys, just take Love.
Yeah.
No, that's a good
There's
point.
a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look. I mean, so you had Dobbs 76% of the routes, Watson 38 last week, Reed 52. Now some of these are like, they were in blowout time. Wick 62, he's at 79 the week before, Melton 33. Like they're just Heath, Malik Heath is out there for 29% of the routes. Like, yeah, it just is, it's hard. It's hard. There's a lot of dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. Very messy. Let's hear Texans over 16.5 points. Thoughts? Yeah. I mean, I bet it. I don't know. 16.5 seems low.
Right side of the key
love?
number.
Yeah, for sure. Any love for Purdy most passing yards this weekend? Don't know what the number is, but if he gets the volume, definitely. But I just don't know if they're gonna get the volume. Like if it's 30-10 and after the first half, I wouldn't be that surprised, to be honest.
I don't hate it, but again, we don't have a number, so it makes it hard. But yeah, I don't even think he's going to get the volume. It's all about like efficiency and big plays, really, for him. I mean, he might not even have the most in that game, especially if that game gets wonky quickly. I mean, Love's going to be chucking.
Yep. Yeah, totally agree. Let's hear Shane Bullen. Hey lads, not sure if you mentioned yet. Thoughts on Musgrave's line at 20.5. Slop, you're a tight end guy, right? Did you bet on Kraft or Musgrave? You bet on one of these guys.
Musgrave. All right, so here's my take. I think he's gonna slowly creep back to like kind of his old role. Like it's slow going.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, the first game back, I think it was 19% of the snaps. Second game back was 27% of the snaps. So that wasn't the increase I thought we were going to see. I kind of got lucky because he caught like a 35-yarder last week or whatever that touchdown was, 38, whatever it was. But I don't know. I think that the 49ers can be had. They gave up 88 receptions on the season to tight ends. The team that gave up the most gave up 107. So that's not that far off. I mean, it's not the same, but still it's not that far. It's not like these guys just lock it down. McBride went 10 for 100 on them. Likely Christmas night was like 3 for 50 something. So I don't know. I think Musgrave's going to play more. I don't know how much more, but I mean, dude, we're talking about such a low bar. Like 20.5, that's a catch.
Yeah, really low.
And you're in the environment that they're gonna be in, I think, trailing. So that's the one. If I'm taking one, I would take the guy. That's the guy. Definitely. And I did take him. So I got him 25 plus.
Yeah. Nice. I like that.
Yeah. You saw the Kraft's like routes run fall last week. Now Musgrave didn't run many either. But like, again, they didn't have to in the second half in particular, but yeah, I do think you're going to have that kind of come back together. And there's a good shot that it's Musgrave moving forward. So yeah, I looked at reception numbers for both of them too. I think Kraft is like a normal 2.5. And then you were like massively juiced over on the 1.5 for Musgrave. So yeah, I think they should probably.
I would like to go 2.5. Like you'll kind of see before kickoff, maybe they go to 2.5 plus money, then you jump in.
Yeah, I like it
for sure. So we got Edmonds questionable over on White rushing attempts and receiving. He practiced like limited, and looks like Todd Bowles said that they're gonna like he's trending in the right direction. So kind of avoid there. I think receptions would be my look there personally. Let's see here. We got Builder had -103 on Lamar 9 carries, moved to 10 -103. Sorry, guys. So it looks like that on rush attempts for Lamar. That's, kind of dead. Lamar carries 9.5 +105 at MGM for Tim Broderick. Not bad. I mean, yeah, you're into that? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Let's see here. Cool. I think we're running out of questions here. Bills -2.5 because someone sacrificed themselves to the pit. They've been undefeated every time someone has. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but they have like a giant pit where the new stadium or something's being built, and like every week one of their fans has just like jumped into it, and like all of them have to go to the hospital basically after. But every week they've done it, someone is like they've won. So I mean, Bills fans are just absolutely batshit crazy. I mean, that is awesome. But I mean, I'm kind of on the Chiefs. I'm not a big superstition guy, but that is hilarious. Let's see here.
Yeah.
We have.
It makes me think of Andy from Parks and Rec. He fell in the pit, wrote a song about it. Yeah.
That's good. Let's see here. Slop says, thinks 20.5 receiving yards is a low bar. Quez Watkins disagrees. Yeah.
Hey, Quez isn't a tight end. Quez was a tight end. He would have got it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Fucking
100%.
Quez.
Facts.
Awesome.
Hey, he got the targets, Jeff. It's just
Come on,
he didn't convert those to yards.
That's what I said about Mecole Hardman. That's another guy I will not be betting on this week.
It's
Absolute
tough.
bum.
I'm not going to bet on Quez either then.
Good. Yeah. We need to hold strong in solidarity.
Mm-hmm. I won't bet on Quez Watkins again this season.
Jeff misses, he gets 1 L on the kicker prop, and then he doesn't give us any this week. Like, you scared,
quit.
Jeff? He quit?
Jeff just quit.
No, Jeff ain't scared. Jeff's at a strip club right now, probably with pockets full of kicker props. Watch.
Well, not sharing any with the chat this week, Jeff.
Friday afternoon, right? Yeah, he's at the strip club.
It's 5:00 somewhere, including wherever Jeff lives. So that's awesome. All right, cool. I think that's all the questions we got for today. A little bit longer, but it was great.
Yeah, we appreciate the questions.
And he's given one. He's given one, I think.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Come on,
We
Jeff.
gotta wait. We got Brian saying too. Lamar Jackson most rushing yards at 12 plus 1,200 for the divisional round. It's just really tough with McCaffrey. I think. Like I hate betting against him. Like
yeah.
I like Lamar would have to run for 100 yards.
David might be onto something. I don't totally think that. I mean, for those prices, that's not that ridiculous.
Baker most passing yards plus 470, or Love same bet plus 650.
Tim, Quez Watkins, I don't know how you could say he's the worst receiver in the NFL. That's tough to quantify. Just saying, if we're being accurate and honest here, I don't know that you can actually quantify that.
I got my list right here. So it's number 1,
Devontae
MVS.
Parker.
Number 2 is Devontae Parker. Okay. Number 3 is Mecole Hardman. 4 is Sky Moore. I mean, like the fact that the Chiefs have 3 of the 4 worst is pretty impressive, but they do. I mean, they don't get open. They don't catch the ball. They run the wrong routes. They just suck. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yep. I think that's perfect.
Here we go. We got Jeff's kicker prop to wrap up the show. Fairburn over 1.5 field goals at plus 135.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
I mean,
Jeff won't hide from it either. Like if that guy goes out there and doesn't kick any fields, like he won't hide. He'll come back in with another one. That's why I like Jeff. He knows how the game's played.
Yep. Love it.
When you lose one, all you gotta do is come back and win one. That's it. Now you're back.
That's how it works. You're all the way back.
Shout out again. We talked. PFF caught some strays this week with PFF grades.
Oh,
we want to look at the receiving grades. Your worst receivers in the NFL. Your worst receivers in the NFL this season: Rondell Moore.
Okay.
Allen Robinson.
Yep. Not named Quez Watkins.
Van Jefferson, and then MVS. So MVS 4th. Our boy Trey Palmer. Trey Palmer's in here too. So
yeah, but he won his money, so it doesn't count. Like
MVS. No, it's okay. We don't need him to be good.
Those are the guys you want to bet on the reverse correlation. I'll be honest with you, those all sound like guys. So I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that under 3 catches for 35 yards.
So Chiefs guys are kind of good for this actually.
Next year, Ryan, we might lead the list because that's probably how you're going to find your reverse correlation guys.
Just a good way to start. Yeah,
that's a deep one.
Yeah. See, shout out PFF.
Yeah,
Your
nice
grading
work,
system.
helping the gambling community with reverse correlation parlays. Just exactly why they created their company.
100%. The only reason. Literally, this is
Yeah,
it.
literally. You know what? We got to help these gamblers.
Slop Odds Jam. What do people need to know?
Go to OddsJam right now. The greatest pricing tools in the history of pricing tools ever. Stay aligned. We'll find them. Arbitrage, we'll find them. It's unbelievable. Just go there. Free 2 weeks. Use promo code SLOP. Hurry up.
You really only got 2 weeks left to use it, so you're gonna take advantage. You don't want to be using that for. I mean, you could use it for Super Bowl week, but
use it all year long, dude. College basketball, great time to use it. Baseball, it was surprisingly not bad. I didn't know what to expect just because it's only one sport, but there was plenty of stuff to bet.
Okay, nice. Check that out. Promo code SLOP. And again, you want to get access to the Discord and all the things we're doing at 4for4. Go to the plans page, 4for4.com/plans. No discount code needed. It's already on the site. $19.99 to the end of the season. Pretty good time there. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us as always. Thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe to the channel and come back on Wednesday for our 2-game preview. And we'll be here again on Friday with, again, like, we'll just probably build some of these uncorrelated props live because we're not going to have a lot to do. Maybe save some tackles for people.
I'm going to be doing that all weekend.
It's going to be fantastic. So for Slop and Connor, I'm Ryan. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks, everybody.